I think I found a lipstick you guys haven't seen yet. Check out this pink, it's so cute. Hi guys, welcome back to the Pretty Bookish channel where we talk all things books all the time. My name is Nobukanya, your resident book nerd. Hi everybody, welcome if it's your first time here. Welcome back if you're an OG and you've been with me for a while. If you've been with me for a while, you know it's the first of the month, so you know what we're about to do. You know what time it is. It's time for my most anticipated releases of April 2021. I think this is probably one of the best ideas I ever had, was breaking this up monthly. Because at the beginning of the year, I saw so many people giving you like huge book hauls of like, oh, not book hauls, of huge lists of like books that are anticipated in 2021. I do not have the mental capacity to know books coming out for the rest of the year. I think breaking up into monthly batches is so much easier for me personally, and it also makes me, it allows me to really keep track of what I want to buy in a specific month, because I have a book budget that I use every month. So yeah, so this month there's not as many books, and I keep saying that, and then I end up with like 8 books because I keep remembering more books that I want to get. But I think this month there's like a couple that I'm super excited about, but others I'm just generally eyeing because I've seen them around on Bookstagram, and I probably think I will get them, or at least get the audiobook of it. So yeah, let's get started and seeing what books I want to get, or what books I'm anticipating that are coming out in April 2021. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram on @PrettyXBookish. Like, comment, follow, share, all that fun stuff. You guys know what it is. It's a great way for you guys to be able to just support creators and support YouTubers and Instagrammers. It doesn't take that much of your time, and it's a great way for you to help me to build my community. Thank you so much. So the first book is actually a book that I already read. It's a book, or I listened to rather. I got an advanced listener's copy from Libra FM. It's a book that's coming out in April. I absolutely loved this audiobook. It's one of my favorite YAs of the year so far. It is such a great story, and it is Somewhere Between Bitter and Sweet by, let me say her name properly, Zia Kemp. I think I'm pronouncing her first name incorrectly, but Zia Kemp. Somewhere Between Bitter and Sweet. Oh my god guys, I love this audiobook. So first of all, the audiobook is fantastic. It's so vibey, it's so rhythmic, it moves, and the story itself, so it tells the story of Xander and Penelope. So they're these two teens, so not teens, they're like supposed to be in college. So it's a Latinx story in this Latinx community. So Penelope his parents own a restaurant, and this restaurant that's kind of a safe haven for everyone in the community. Her dad is very much into helping people. There's a lot of undocumented workers and undocumented people in the community, and Xander is actually also undocumented. So what happens is that Pen has been lying. By the way, Pen is one of my favorite protagonists and main characters of any YA book ever. I love her so much. So Pen has been lying to her parents and pretending to be going to nursing school, but secretly she ain't been going to school. So she ends up having to tell her dad that, because secretly Pen has always wanted to run her parents' restaurant, but her dad doesn't want her to do that because he wants more for her. He wants her to live a bigger life. You know what I mean? You know how parents are. They wanted to do better than they did. And so it becomes this whole thing where her dad is so angry and he finds out, and then she has to kind of fight for her dream. And then on the other hand, Xander is searching for his father, who moved to the US from, I can't remember what South American country they were from, but he moved to the US, and then he never saw him again. So he's searching for his father and trying to decide and he's also dealing with being undocumented and trying to navigate that space. And then they kind of have that, you know, classic YA romance or whatever. But oh guys, this book was it warmed my heart. All the food descriptions made me hungry, and Penelope was just such a great main character. She was tough, she was strong, and she also struggles with anxiety disorder, and so it also has a lot of mental health discussions and mental health rep in the book. And so I really feel like it's one of those books that I really want you guys to read, and I'm definitely going to get a physical copy when it actually comes out. So that's the first book that I'm anticipating that's coming out in April. The next book is probably one of my other than the Gilded Ones, this was the other black fantasy that I was so excited about, and it is Witches Steeped in Gold, and it is a Caribbean fantasy book. I am so excited about this. First of all, the cover. The cover is everything. I heard about this book last year, and since last year I've been eyeing it. I'm just like, when this book comes out, fam, I'm getting it, and I'm gonna splurge and get it in hardback, if it even comes in hardback. I'm not sure, but if it comes in hardback, I'm getting it in hardback. So it's basically the story of these two witches, who kind of enemy witches, who have to band together to kind of save themselves, or kind of save their community as well. Not their community, because it's kind of like a fantasy, but save the world basically. And they have to kind of band together and try not to betray each other. So one of them is kind of in the dungeons. She's kind of a prisoner, a witch who's a prisoner. The other one is the daughter of the queen, but her mom, I think, is kind of not 100% like on the up and up. I think her mom might be evil, because she's trying, the synopsis says that her older sister died so that her mom's power could be replenished, and sister's not trying to do none of that. So I think they banded together to fight this evil and to kind of triumph. And I just, oh guys, I will say this, I'm not a huge fan of fantasy books with witches. I've said this before, but Black fantasy, Caribbean fantasy, and there's not a lot of Caribbean fantasy books out there, especially in the YA fantasy space, especially ones that have such a big marketing budget and are like really like being hyped. So I'm really excited about this one, so I'll give it a go. I'll tell you guys how it goes. I'll probably do a vlog for that one, because I'm really excited when it comes out. So that's another book that I am absolutely so excited about. That's the other one that I was just like, yes. The next book is actually a book that I thought was coming out last month, and I actually almost shot it for my previous video, but then I was just like, no, it's actually coming out this month. And it's actually coming out in April in the US, and then it's coming out, I think, in May in the UK. So it is Pride and Premonition by Terza Price, and it is a Pride and the Prejudice reimagining. You guys know how I feel about Jane Austen reimaginings. You know how I feel about Pride and Prejudice reimaginings, especially. I absolutely love them. I think it's one of those stories that just is such a great foundation for a story. So this one is a kind of reimagining. So the female main character, she is a young law student, and then she's basically trying to solve a crime. Think like Nancy Drew type stuff. And then the guy who's basically like the Darcy character is an actual established lawyer. And so they kind of become oppositional in this thing where like she's trying to prove that the person he thinks did it didn't do it or whatever. And it's kind of like I think it's the start of a series. I'll tell you what it's called now. It's the start of a series. It's called the Jane Austen Mysteries. I think that's what it's called. So it's the start of a series. So I'm really excited, guys. I kind of like mystery books, but like crime-solving mystery, not horror thriller. My stomach is in my throat mysteries. You know what I mean? I like to solve a crime. I watch Criminal Minds. I watch Law and Order. I watch all the Chicagos. I watch NCIS. I like to solve a crime. So this is another one that I'm really excited about that's coming out. So that one's definitely on my radar. Another book that's actually coming out this month that I already have an audiobook for, thank you so much to Libro, is one that I honestly have read the synopsis, because I actually read it, guys, but I still don't think I could explain to you what it's about. I think this is just one of those descriptions at the back of the book where you need to read the back of the book, and it is Call Baby by Morgan Jenkins. I don't know how to describe this book, because it's got elements of Conjure, elements of the supernatural, I think, but it also is about family ties. It's about motherhood. It's about heartbreak. There's a lot of stuff that it's about. So I really, please guys, go and Google the back of the book. In my description box, there'll be a link to the Goodreads. So just like read the description. But this is one of those black African-American writers and African-American books that, first of all, this cover is gorgeous, but it's on my radar. You know, sometimes when you read the synopsis of a book and something about it just triggers you, something about it just says, this one I think is going to be for me. You can't put your finger on it. You can't really describe what it is, because I've been trying to avoid heavier books, but there's something about this description of this book that is making me so excited about it, and I really want to read Call Baby. So that's another one that I think is going to be at the top of my list of to purchase as soon as it comes out. Okay, so the next two that I'm going to talk about are both queer YA novels, and you guys know how I feel about a queer YA novel. They make my heart so happy. So the first one is called She Drives Me Crazy. It is by Kelly Quinlan. It's set in high school and basically like an enemies to lovers sapphic romance. So Scotty is basically like, I think, a basketball player, and then she gets into a fender bender with her arch nemesis Irene Abram, who's kind of a bee, apparently kind of a bitch. And so, but Irene is super popular. So that is one of these things of like, basically, I think it's like a fake dating, enemies to lovers type trope set in high school. I don't read that much sapphic romance, and this one sounds really, really good. It's giving me like High School Musical vibes. It's giving me all the elements I need. It's giving me high school. It's giving me nemesis. It's giving me sports. It's giving me cheerleaders. It's giving me all the things that I like. So that's the other one that I'm excited about, and I think I probably will get that one because I haven't read a lot of sapphic YA in life, but also recently, like not a lot. So that one is another one that I'm really excited about. The next one is called In Deep Waters by F.T. Lukens. The description of it was giving me queer Pirates of the Caribbean, and I was just like, hello. So it's basically about this boy. He's kind of like an aristocrat. It's not an aristocrat, but like, yeah, Prince Tal is like a super rich guy, and then he gets kidnapped by pirates, and then he's on a pirate ship. Then I think one of the pirates is queer, and then it's like this whole like young romance or whatever, YA romance, but like it's on a pirate ship. I for some reason I actually really enjoy piratey stuff. I don't know what it is, but like anyway. And then it's like romance, and I don't know. It just sounds like such a vibe. I don't know about you guys, but this just sounds like something that's going to be really, really cute. I think it's just going to be something that's just going to warm my heart. So that's another book that I'm super excited about, that I'm rambling about, but I don't really feel like I know that much about. I just know the general. Do you know what? This is one of those situations where it's just like all vibes, no information. So yeah, super excited about this book that I know nothing about. And then the last book that I'm excited about is Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez. It's the third book in the series. I love The Friend Zone, and also, what was the other one called? The Happily Ever After playlist. Oh, Abby Jimenez makes me cry. Abby Jimenez really just drags my soul. And I've heard this book is also another one that's going to have you like ugly crying. So yeah, this is one of those series. This is an auto buy for me. Like, I don't really even concern myself with what the specifics are of the series. I have enjoyed both book 1 and book 2. It's not like the Bromance Book Club where I'm really on the fence about getting the third one, because I loved the first one. The second one was absolute garbage. You know what? Don't get me started on the second one in that series, because guys, Liz is the worst. Anyway, but this is one of those series where it's been a hit and a hit, so I'm really, really here to get book 3. It's also like Tessa Bailey's series. I need to actually I must order Tools of Engagement. Why do I not have it? Because the first 2 books I really enjoyed. So this one just for me is an auto buy. It's a nice, cute romance. I'm dipping my toe carefully back into romance after all the duds I've read. I think what I'm going to do is stick to like auto buy series and try and veer also more into like the queer, into the YA romance space, because those I feel like I end up liking a lot more than like contemporary romance. So that's the kind of last book that I'm excited about that's coming out this month that I think you guys should look out for. If you haven't read this series, start with The Friend Zone. I really, really liked it. It made me like ugly cry, but book 2 made me ugly crier. So yeah. Okay, so that's the end of this video. That's the end of, those are the books. I think there's 6 of them that I'm really excited about that are coming out in April of 2021. That is my April 2020 most anticipated releases. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you find it instructive. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like, comment, follow, share. You guys know the drill. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these, if you're looking forward to some of them, if you've read some of them and you think I should just like stay away from them, because you guys know I'm really trying not to waste my money in 2021. So help me to help you to help me. Do you know what I mean? Okay, thank you so much guys for watching this video. Have a lovely rest of your day. Goodbye.